Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and oh, this is gonna be a good one. We're gonna be talking a bit about XRP price action. There's an XRP community member, chart analyst, who says that his target for the upcoming parabolic rally of XRP is going to be between $10 and $13. Oh, okay. Well, I know what I hate, and I don't hate that. I've also got opinions from other chart analysts, and I want to be clear that I do not have a financial background, and I certainly am not a financial professional. I'm not offering financial advice. Absolutely do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say. All right. I'm just an enthusiastic member of the XRP community that likes talking about things crypto and specifically XRP related and making YouTube videos. It's my most favoriteest hobby ever, but that is all that it is. Want to be super clear so that nobody thinks I'm someone or something that I'm not. Before we go any further, if you would please ever so delicately tap that like button, I would definitely appreciate the support. It will tell the YouTube algorithm that this particular Moon Lambo video is awesome sauce. And then, as a result, it will push this content out onto other unsuspecting victims. So even if you hate it, like, just go ahead and hit the like button, and then somebody else is going to have to watch it. Think about it. It's a win-win, whether you like it or hate it. It's fantastic, right? And also, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. You know you don't have anything better to do with your time. Nobody got time for that. So, as I record this, XRP is at 23.1 cents. Bitcoin is at $10,472. You got the market cap for the asset class at $326 billion, and Bitcoin dominance trading sideways for the last day or so after a notable upswing of a couple points. It's at 59.3%. So, obviously, we've been somewhat range-bound over the last few weeks, but a couple days ago, we did start to see XRP drop from roughly the 25-cent level to about where it is now. It briefly broke below 23 cents, but did not stay there for long. It was like 22.9-something cents. And so I didn't snag that. The lowest that I've been able to purchase, although that's probably going to change today, was 23.4 cents. And I am not crying over that. So I'm not going to tease you guys or make you wait till way later in the video. The $10 to $13 prediction, where is this coming from? From none other than XRP community member, Blockchain Backer. I was just scrolling through my my Twitter feed this morning, and I came across this tweet from him. And he wrote, "It's cheap, plain and simple. The total altcoin market cap proves it for the Ripple XRP price chart." I'm still not clear on why he says Ripple XRP, because it's just the XRP price chart. I don't know. I should just ask him. But his analysis was really interesting. And so when I make videos about price, I'm not a chart analyst, and so I don't get into the nitty-gritty. If you're interested in the specifics, I strongly encourage you to check out his video. It was great. It was about 11 minutes long. In my videos, I do something that I've not seen anybody else doing, which is just share a collection of opinions from various chart analysts, and this one was the most interesting. So we're going to start with this for sure. And so he maps out the comparison between the altcoin market in his video and XRP, and he says that XRP right now, as I'm recording this, it's at 23.1 cents. He says that it is undervalued. He says maybe it could go as low as 22.5 cents, which is the low end target that he's been saying for some time, and he's sticking by that here. But he thinks more likely than not, in short order, we're going to be seeing this thing move up to, in the video, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'm pretty sure he was talking about maybe high 40-cent range or 50-cent range. It was somewhere there about. I think I'm not doing him some terrible injustice by stating that, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said, somewhere around there. But what was more interesting is he's talking about once this thing really lights up and kicks off, he's talking about XRP going to anywhere from $10 to $13. And just because it hasn't happened, don't assume that it can't. It can't happen. Because I remember when I entered the space in 2017 in November, I was still seeing the Bitcoin maximalists saying XRP will never reach $1. That was November, November, and just a little over a month later, it hit $1, and then it smashed through that, melting the faces off of the naysayers. That is absolutely what happened. All the Bitcoin maxi trolls retreated to their bridges, and this is what they sounded like. Face melt. And they waddled off in like a hurried fashion. That's what they did. And then they ate their room temperature cottage cheese because they were exhausted after that waddling. They needed some sustenance, so they went for that room temperature cottage cheese. That's the favorite food of all Bitcoin maxi trolls, by the way. That's a fun fact. You can share that tip at a party. People will be impressed that you know such interesting things. So as far as where it's going, just because it hasn't happened, don't assume it can't, because, and I've said this, I've been saying this for a long time, like, it would be super weird to me if this asset class never got into the trillions. Super weird. This is the smallest asset class on the planet by a long shot. You know, you're talking about 325 billion, whatever it is, somewhere 325 billion-ish dollars in crypto at the moment. And then you got gold sitting around. What is gold today? I should have checked it before recording. Like 10 trillion, 9 trillion, somewhere around there. I'm telling you, and that's one asset, by the way. Gold, one asset. We're talking about an entire asset class, a little over 300 billion. And given that there is something to this, there is utility to be had, business models can exist that otherwise could not exist without crypto, of course it's going to be here in perpetuity unless the internet stops existing. And it should. And it deserves, these decentralized cryptocurrencies, they deserve to have open market values, or prices rather, that are based on value right there. And so what Blockchain Backer was saying here is, and he acknowledged, he's like, okay, yeah, technically, he was saying it like the price could go lower, but he thinks it's very unlikely, and he explained why. And so here's the thing, like, as far as chart analysis, some people like to give chart analysts a hard time. Some people say that there's nothing to chart analysis, and I firmly disagree. I think it's more so that people have a misunderstanding as if these chart analysts are acting like they have a crystal ball. And fine, some of the crappy ones do. That's not what Blockchain Backer's doing. He's just saying his genuine opinion based on the data that is being fed to him via the charts. And so it's more like, when you're talking about chart analysis, it's not about predicting some sort of exact price, generally speaking. It's more like, what's the probability of outcomes? And that's the way that he's been approaching this. And if I see, as long as I see analysts approaching it in that sense, then I'm like, okay, that's a good sign. You know, the types that just throw, no, it will be this price, this, I'm like, I don't know. That's strangely precise without considering any sort of other potential direction that this thing could go. So we'll see. Regardless of what the time frame is, like, volatility, to me, and this is just my personal opinion, volatility is not a reason to sell. I'm not going to be shaken out of this. I'm just going to hold, and I believe that utility matters and shall win the day. Now, here's a opposing viewpoint from Dennis Surchek with Crypto Comes, but he is talking in the short term mostly, so he didn't really venture out onto a ledge and talk more about long term in terms of XRP price action. So keep that in mind, because it is true. Like, even Blockchain Backer's like, okay, it could go down to about 22.5 cents. Okay, but here's what Dennis Surchek had to say. There was no strong pressure from the bears yesterday, and the XRP price managed to consolidate sideways above the 23-cent level. If buyers try to restore the pair today, the price might test the 2-hour EMA 55, but bulls are unlikely to continue to rise above the average price level. The increase in sales volumes will break the 23-cent support and may lead to new September lows around a 21.3-cent mark. And fair enough, and if it does, it's not like it's that far off from what Blockchain Backer was talking about. And also, I mentioned in a video yesterday, and I don't think anything's changed, DIY Investing says that his low end for XRP price is 20 cents. He said maybe it would just be 21 cents. And so it's all in that kind of realm, and then it's more like what happens after that. And that's why I was saying here, okay, to be fair, even though he's talking about it going down, if I were to pick his brain and say, okay, well, what about after that? Does it just keep going down? Does it go up? It would be interesting to see his answer. He just didn't get into it with this analysis, but the DIY, Blockchain Backer, they both have a pretty strong opinion that it's in all likelihood not going lower. Whatever the floor is going to be here, whether it is 22.5 cents or whether it is 20 cents, that's going to be it, and then it's up, and we could be seeing close to 50-cent XRP in rather short order. And who knows? I mean, DIY Investing, he's still standing by his prediction that XRP is going to hit $1 before the year's out. Interesting, right? And then we have this piece from Crypto News Flash titled, Bitcoin at a Crossroads, CME gap at 9,600 or return of the bulls. Within the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has shown a correction from 10,900 to 10,250 at the time of writing. The Bitcoin price has stabilized at 10,450 and shows a small plus of 0.17%. The market capitalization has fallen to $193 billion, and the Bitcoin dominance has fallen to 58.4%. Now, Blockroot founder Josh Rager says that Bitcoin must initially rise above $10,600 in order to maintain the bullish trend. In the first attempt to break the $10,600 mark, however, Bitcoin was rejected, so another retest will have to show whether the bulls are stronger than the bears. And so here's his exact tweet right here. This is Josh Rager. I want to see Bitcoin back above $10,600 before I start to feel good about it. Traditional markets will likely continue to have a strong influence on Bitcoin and the direction it takes. And indeed, when we saw this drop just the other day, and I pointed this out on the channel, and I wish that more people were talking about this, like, and some are, so don't get me wrong, many are, but it seemed very clear to me that the dip that you had with stocks, it directly correlated with the crypto asset class, and it was not the crypto asset class that led stocks down. Let me assure you of that. It's a tiny asset class with a few $100 billion. Plus, just look at the timing of it. It followed what happened with the stocks. And so unless you're calling what's happening with the stocks, I don't know how you could have necessarily seen that was coming, which is kind of an interesting point, I think. And I pulled a chart. I mean, it looked very samey. It super duper looked the same. I even pulled up XRP versus the Dow Jones Industrial Average, because XRP, mind you, it's just following the rest of the asset class when it all pulls back together. So I'm sure it would have looked the same whether you pulled up Ethereum or Bitcoin. It would look more or less the same. But I happened to pull up the XRP chart next to the Dow Jones Industrial Average just for that point, for the whole time the dip was happening up to that point in time, and it looked exactly the damn same. And so that's what's happening. So again, it has nothing to do with the long-term viability of cryptocurrencies or XRP specifically. Yet people are getting shaken out. That's the emotional buying and selling that I absolutely refuse to be a part of. I'm not going to let all of this nonsense shake me out of my position. I am emotionally bulletproof. And if I'm wrong and this thing goes to zero, fine. I will ride this bitch to zero, but I am pretty confident it's not. And I am putting my money where my mouth is, and I will live with it if I'm wrong. But man, I don't think I'm wrong. I am Mr. XRP Bull. But I would love to hear what you think. Again, $10 to $13 XRP. Sounding pretty good as far as Moon Lambo is concerned. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.